Hey, Walt here from StogieReview.com with another video cigar review. This time around we're doing sort of a once and done first impressions review of the Romeo Julieta House of Montague cigar. This actually came as a freebie in the Cigar Monster order I placed not all that long ago. It's one of the perks of ordering from Cigar Monster. I'm finding that every now and again they send out a sample cigar of something that someone might not otherwise buy. So it's kind of a cool thing to try different cigars, although the first one I got, I don't think I touched it. It was just, I think I had bad memories of the line and just sort of brushed it aside, but I haven't had a Romeo Julieta in years. Actually, the last one I think I had was from a sampler I bought around Christmas time 6 or 7 years ago. It came with the Romeo Julieta porcelain ashtray, and I think 2 of each of the lineups back then. I think there were 4 or 5. You know, the Reserva Real, the Maduro, just the 1875, and I think there may have been 1 or 2 others. But it's been a really long time since I've had a Romeo Julieta product, and you know, I thought it would be kind of cool to try it. I don't know if these cigars are available everywhere, if it's just a Famous thing. I know they're available at Famous, that's why I looked them up there. And the sales pitch goes on to say, Romeo Julieta cigars, or Romeo Julieta House of Montague cigars, bring young Romeo back to life with a flavorful new selection. Hailing from the House of Montague, Romeo was filled with the fiery passion for the young Juliet, which is marvelously depicted in these rich-tasting cigars. A hearty blend of Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Brazilian long fillers, Dominican Olor binder, and a Brazilian Maduro wrapper make this handsome cigar a perfect addition to every connoisseur's humidor. So that's the sales pitch. They come in at about six and some change. This is the Robusto, which is kind of big at 5x54, and $6.06 a single, $25.99 5-pack, $50.99 for a 10-pack, and a box of 20 will run you $96.99. So I'm gonna get to smoking this cigar. Watch my young little daughter run around and play out here. And I'll come back, we'll take a look at the first half, and we'll talk about how it's going. Well, I'm plugging along on my Romeo Julieta House of Montague, and so far we're not off to a fantastic start. It's got this funky sort of, almost like a pine nut kind of aftertaste, and I despise pine nuts, and as a result I'm really not enjoying the pungent aftertaste of this cigar. So if you know how to retrohale, you can follow along with me here. But basically, you take a puff of smoke, you let some of it out of your mouth, then you close your mouth, and you proceed like you would, breathe out of your mouth. Only your mouth is closed. So if you do it gently, your mouth sort of pressurizes, and the smoke has nowhere to go but up through your sinus and out your nose. We're not talking about like super pressure here, just kind of a gentle flow of air. And when you do that, you get a retrohale. You get aroma through the sinus, that comes through with the smoke. But after that's all done, and there's no more smoke in your mouth, a lot of times cigars will have a lingering taste. You can feel it on the palate. You taste it a little bit after the fact. Well, if you do the whole retrohale thing without any smoke in your mouth, close your mouth, breathe out your mouth with your mouth closed, and that air will come up and pressurize and come out your sinus. When you do that after the fact, in the case with this cigar, I'm getting an incredibly pungent, just pine nut kind of a taste, and it is just horrible. I don't like it, not even the least bit. So it's really turning me off. Aside from that, the flavors are kind of dry. They're kind of woody. And I'm getting a little bit of that pine nut taste, but it's not nearly as pungent until after the fact. That long lingering aftertaste, I'm really not into. The construction is pretty good. The draw is a little firm. It's really not an issue though. I'm getting a nice dense smoke, coats the palate well. The finish is a little dry. It's mild to medium bodied, and it's smoking fairly well. I really strongly dislike the aftertaste, and it's really ruining the cigar for me. So I don't know how much more I'm going to smoke before I finally say, I'm done and I give up on it. So I'll push it along a little bit further. I'm going to try to get down past the halfway point, see if the cigar changes at all. If not, I'm going to call it quits, wrap it up early, and call it a review. Well, I'm still going on my Romeo Julieta House of Montague, and actually I'm going to call it quits. I'm not going to finish smoking a cigar. It started giving me a headache, the scratchy throat, just the aftertaste is just god awful, and I'm not enjoying it, not even a little bit. So there's no point in struggling through this, just for the sake of saying I finished it for the review. Maybe I'll post a review. Maybe I'll just get rid of it altogether. I really don't know. The cigar is not important enough to me to really worry about it too much. I may just post the review as is on half a cigar, as horrible as that sounds, but I'm just not enjoying it. The construction qualities are really good. It smokes well. It's got a thin, even burn line. The ash holds nice and strong. The draw is decent. Smoke volume is dense. The smoke volume is good. It's dense. It coats the palate well. It's a bit dry on the palate. It's mild to medium in body. It's got like woody flavors, some nutty flavors, but it has just this really horrendous kind of what I can only think of as pine nuts on as a long lingering aftertaste, and it just hangs on the palate, and just I don't like pine nuts at all, so it's really turning me off. And in addition to that, I'm getting a sore throat and a headache from the smoke. It's getting a little acrid, so take it for what it's worth. I haven't had a Romeo and Julieta for years, and this is not the one that's going to bring me back to the line and get me smoking them again. If anything, this one is just it's just turned me off, and will ensure that I don't have another one for years to come. So that's going to do it for the review, if you even want to call it a review, this little first impressions blurb. And if you've tried the Romeo Julieta House of Montague, hit up the comment section below, tell me about it, and tell me if I'm wrong, or if I'm right. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Ugh.